So I don't know. Uh, do you think I should? Do you want me to post this as a video or just as the audio, or do you care?
Yeah, it didn't make any difference to me.
All right, all right. If it looks good on the video, I'll put it on the video on the channel on the video. But
Gotcha.
it really depends on how the Zoom format works out on the video when it's done. I don't know if it's going to be like records us like if the person talking gets a big screen, if it's split screen. I don't
It'll
know.
be whatever is on your screen.
Oh, well, that's not terrible. It's not terribly terrible. Oh, wait, you could change the view. I guess that's good. All right, all right. So, you seen Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes.
What'd you think of it? Just general thoughts about it, the entire thing.
I loved, like, there's this beautiful gag that happens to where all of these I'm gonna say YT Marvel fans were like, it's not about racism, it's not about race, stop trying to make it about race. And then boom, we get episode 3. I think that was the episode, and we're like, are you sure? You know, and then it keeps going, and I'm just like, wow, Marvel. I love this inclusion that's been happening, and it's been happening in a lot of superhero shows, and it's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah, for real. When I was a kid, the only black superhero that I really like knew much of, other than Blade, but that was R-rated, so I couldn't watch that when I was a kid. Was Static Shock, and I mean I like Static Shock plenty. And there was also John. Is it John Jones? No, not John Jones. The Green Lantern, John Stewart. It's John Stewart.
Yeah, John Stewart.
Yeah. But I didn't like Justice League. I was always an Avengers person, despite my name being Justice. Yeah, yeah. I like Marvel more. This is how I was.
I like the animated series of Justice League. I went back and finished it in like 2016, I think, because they put it on Hulu or Netflix. So I got to go back and finish it from beginning to end.
Yeah, I want to get into it. I didn't know like the animated stuff had a whole like little universe in itself, or the whole DC animated stuff. So I want to get into some of the official, I don't know, stuff that's going on in over there. But I think all right, so yeah, like all right, so there was Static Shock, and I didn't, I'm a mixed person myself personally. I don't know, I never really thought about race until basically college, mostly because I'm from Hot Springs. I went to Hot Springs High School. It is a majority minority, so I don't know. I don't know if we were just like oblivious or if it's just good enough mix or whatever. But I don't know. But then we went to college, and the ratios were a little bit different at in college a little bit. But anyway, the point is, like, that's when I started noticing things. And I had a class with Dr. Tucker. What was it called? African American Women's Literature topic 2 or whatever. It was like an upper level English class, and that was a pretty great experience because it was like all the uncomfortable conversations that nobody wants to have. And she was literally like, she would have these topics and just be like, all right, here's the topic, talk about it. And she would leave the room, and it would be just, the silence was deafening. But I liked it though. It's like exposure therapy a little bit. And so that's what I'm talking about with this. Both Marvel shows that came out. WandaVision did some stuff about mental illness and grief and all that stuff and depression that I was like, wow, they're really going into this for a Marvel show. And then with Falcon and Winter Soldier, all this stuff with the race and just all the modern. I don't like calling it politics because I don't feel like it's that political. It shouldn't be considered political. A lot of what's going on in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it's just like a point of view. It's perspective. It gets money up in the waters. I asked you if you had seen Watchmen. I almost see some of the things in this show, or it's kind of like a, a kid friendly version of Watchmen, which it's not really like this is PG-13, but like obviously kids are going to watch it. And Watchmen is a little hard to. It's a lot. That's a whole other package in itself, which I appreciate. But I like how Disney is making all this stuff sort of digestible for a lot of people, and given the conversation, you know, it's I mean, I don't know. You can say
I
more
get it.
to
I
it
get
if you
it.
want.
It's definitely opening doors for conversation that definitely needed to be talked about. I guess I can say I do agree with politics kind of being the harsher word to use for it, but it kind of does. I mean, it does work with it too, because when we think about like Isaiah Bradley,
Mm-hmm.
and he talks about how they experimented on him, that's a part of Black history that just goes untalked about. They did give these people shots and tell them that it was like some type of vaccine,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think it
go
was
back to
syphilis, the
experiment.
Tuskegee experiments,
Yeah.
Tuskegee experiments, and they also back on the put the back on the back of that the Tuskegee Airmen, which
Mm-hmm.
was a Black battalion of people as well, and they sort of linked those two things together. I don't know if they were linked in general, but yeah.
And it even goes as far back as even with the new Captain America's, sorry, spoiler,
Mm-hmm.
suit.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 stripes on there where Steve had 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like a flying formation to where they would fly for one of the missing airmen or missing people in their formation. So it's kind of a symbolization, or it's symbolic of Steve not being there anymore. So he wears 2 stripes instead of 3. And when he flies, he's flying in the missing formation. And I was like, that's pretty nice.
Oh my goodness! Wow, wow. I love how the show has used the Captain America shield, and I like how they're putting it on the shield. They're sort of using the shield as a like it's the symbol of
Mm-hmm.
like everything, and this is why I love so much about it. It's like a symbol for it means different things to different people, and
Mm-hmm.
it's some of the things that Zemo was talking about. Uh, some people would look at Captain America as a symbol of nationalism, and Zemo was talking about some of the dangers with that could be like that's how you get a level of supremacy of being like so
Mm-hmm.
proud of the symbol you forget what the symbol's supposed to mean or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just like I'm just still losing my mind that this is like a show on Disney Plus for kids to like. Why they like?
Explore. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I never had anything like this before. I was thinking Spider-Man 2002, Green Goblin being like, "I'm gonna get you,
Yeah.
Spider-Man," and now we're being like, we're getting to some real like big global like social economical issues. It's it's just it's wonderful. It makes me think about like what the kids these days are going to be doing later with these sort of like
Mm-hmm.
ideas. It's weird. Um, what else with the Zemo or anything? I want to talk about the acting in the show a little bit because I didn't want. Did you watch The Mandalorian at all? I didn't really watch
I did
Mandalorian.
not watch it
Mm-hmm.
as like sit down episode to episode, but I did
Mm-hmm.
see scenes.
I've seen scenes also, and look, I Star Wars is fine to me. I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
I don't hold it on any sort of pedestal. I probably do hold Marvel on a pedestal, but also if
Mm-hmm.
they didn't stink and do it so great, I don't know. Like I did, neither of these shows are anything I ever expected anything for them to be, and the acting is next level. Like even with WandaVision with Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, they were just and who was the one who played? Do you know? Let me see. I want to get her name. She played Monica Rambeau. Let me see real quick. Tiana Paris. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was really good. And they're all giving these really great performances, and these shows are becoming like Marvel movies stretched out over a long period of time. And more so than I feel like The Mandalorian was doing. The Mandalorian, I feel like, was probably more episodic. I mean, WandaVision was episodic also, but the fiends would roll over and boil over every episode. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think Falcon Winter Soldier needs to get some of these Emmy nominations coming up for whenever the Emmys are coming,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's
I
like,
think they both do. They did a great job for a miniseries.
yeah, uh, I loved at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. It like the credits always said Falcon and Winter Soldier, dun, 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 but then at the end of
Mm-hmm.
this one, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, cool, cool.
It was like, yes, give him his credit.
Some people, and I was wondering this too. Some people were like, well, why don't they call Bucky the White Wolf? Be like Captain America and the White Wolf, but I don't know if it rolls.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really explore why they are calling him the White Wolf. I mean, we know
Yeah,
if you follow the storylines and things like that, but I mean, it didn't do it in the show.
yeah,
They just were paying homage, So
yeah. And I also like, I was like, well, because it's the smallest nitpick, but it's only because like Captain America, because there's the movie Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and now they're being like Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
mm,
It's just like I feel like that'll be confusing if they were to make that like a movie or something. But which based off this the show's success, they're making a new Captain America movie. Well, presumably with Anthony Mackie as Captain America, so it's just gonna be like Captain America and the blah 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 blah, and it's gonna be just a normal movie with the new Captain America, which I like. I really like. Uh,
I honestly, and I love it too. I wish, I guess I'm changing subjects here,
mm,
but with Carly and the power broker,
right.
I was like, the reveal wasn't as climactic as I wanted it to be. I guess it's because like everybody was like, we know at this
Mm,
point. We just waiting
yeah.
for the reveal. And then I was like, because I write as well, I was like, I probably would have wrote as like one of them, either Bucky or Sam, would have caught something that would have made them suspicious. Just something. Cause like our end credit scene, it was too dry for me. And I expected more from Marvel.
Yeah. Well, that's here's the thing with both WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. But both of them, especially in the finales, I felt like they seemed a little rushed, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
probably because of the virus. Uh,
Mm,
because they had to cut down short probably. Especially with some episodes in Falcon Winter Soldier, there are some people who were thinking, and this might be just some sort of conspiracy, but also I don't know, because they do hint at some things like maybe there was a pandemic storyline that was
mm-hmm.
going to be involved with the Flag Smashers and all that, because the Flag Smashers in the beginning, they were like stealing vaccines, and
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of people were dying of tuberculosis. Like I guess Carly's mom or aunt or whatever that lady was. Uh, so and I figure they had to one cut that out because they were like, we can't. It's too soon to try and put the virus stuff in a show right now. Uh, and also, I think they've reworked some of the storylines, like even the thing with Bucky and the old Asian man, who
Mm-hmm.
killed the son. Uh, I felt that was a little short. I felt like they should have done like a little bit more with that also.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. What are you gonna do? I
Because
guess.
we get Sam who delivers this powerful message and gets this powerful monologue, and it was so beautiful. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want that to be taken away, but it's like also Bucky needed his redemption time too.
Yeah, I hope. But also, I feel like they're going to be doing a lot of stuff with these two for a while. They
Mhm.
got time.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that you mentioned Sam's speech. There was a line where he was like, "My only power is I believe we could do better," and I was like, "Wow, that's awesome." I like how they really they because Chris Evans, when he was being Captain America as Steve Rogers, he would give all these big epic speeches every time, and everybody be like, "Oh my god, that's such a good speech." And this is Sam's first like big speech, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I'm Captain America. I'm giving the speech. I'm talking to the world." It's like a good rite of passage. And also, uh, they utilize a lot of Sam's previous strengths in his job as like a counselor for like veterans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like his thing is trying to like help people work out through their emotional issues and figure out what's the deal with their their
Mm-hmm.
shortcomings and whatnot. Anything else you got to say about the speech?
Um, it there were a lot. It wasn't even that one by itself, but like all of the speeches that had anything to do
Oh, the
with a
act.
lot of the progressing that's been happening in America is great. Like even Isaiah's speech, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh my gosh.
Every scene with Isaiah Bradley and Carl Lumley is the actor who plays that. Like his face just has so much in it, all over the place. It's like wow. He kind of looks like it's like from a wide shot. He looks like a younger. Well, he's older, but
Mm-hmm.
spry looking guy. And then closer is like where you see like all the years, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of does look like how Steve Rogers looked like when he was like an old man, like not that old, but like on the road to that sort of kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I like that. Except like a real person, so it's good instead of like CGI old man face or whatever.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, 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 right.
Uh, Let me see what else. I got a bunch of notes here. Uh, what do you think about the fake cap? Uh, yeah.
Okay, so Marvel did this really beautiful thing about progressing and like going forward with a lot of the things that we're talking about today, but then they just messed up for me whenever they reintroduced him again. I was like, so the white man does the bad thing and we reward him. I was like, why do all of this and then go back and then just give him something new? I was like,
uh,
oh my gosh.
I will say two things about that. One, on one hand, he's a great actor. He did a good
Mm-hmm.
job. I like the character even. On the other hand, yeah, you're right. He's a bad guy. He did bad stuff, and now he gets to do more work. But however, uh, in the I hate to be like in the comics. I don't. It really depends on what they do with it. But in the comics, there is like this little kind of like a Dark Avengers sort of deal. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if they're necessarily evil or they just do extreme bad things but get away with it sort of deal. Uh, Maybe kind of like the Marvel Suicide Squad sort of deal.
Like anti-heroes.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I don't know. It really depends because they didn't make him like look. The thing he did was extremely bad, but he wasn't wholly irredeemable. Totally
Right, right, right.
like like he killed that guy, and that guy literally had nothing to do with Lamar's death, which is that's really messed up. That is extremely messed up. Even though he wasn't in a, it's they do make they muddy all the waters. It's really hard to, but I like
Mm-hmm.
it. I like that though. I like that in a little bit. But it was his best friend, and his best friend died, and he had. You see where he's coming from. I don't like it, but I want to see what they do with him. Like, I hope he stays an antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, that's what I hope.
Kind of like I say that they gave him this other shot. I'm just glad that it wasn't from saving the best of people, because I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, don't do this. I was like, don't make him the hero by him
Mm-hmm.
deciding to save these people. And then here comes Sam. I'm like, thank you. I was like, please do not take this moment away from Sam. But yeah, like it's the PTSD. I'm glad that they brought that up because it's a real serious issue. I'm looking forward to seeing more from U.S. Agent.
Yeah, I also love the part where they're in the courtroom and they're basically just like, you effed up. We're taking away all your benefits. Like, you didn't have to do that to him. Like,
He did his job. He fucked up.
yeah.
But he did his job. I'm sorry, I don't know if I
No,
can.
you can. Oh, this is a. You can curse. I don't care. I don't care. It's called the effing nerd show. I didn't do any of the intro stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'll tack that on later. It doesn't matter. But yeah, like maybe he could have been like, I don't know if they would have sent him to jail, but maybe like just how they do with Bucky with the whole parole thing with the mandated therapy,
Mhm.
and they didn't have to take away his pension or like the money his family could have lived off of and all that stuff. That's messed up. And he said it. He was like, "You made me." Like he was trained to do all that stuff by them, and just because he did what he was trained to do, even though it was bad, it's like, come on.
Mhm.
So I see where he's coming from. Uh, I'm curious to see where that goes. And yeah, with the power broker thing, I was like, what? I
Man,
think, yeah, it's like, who cares? So like, I don't know.
I would have. This is exactly how I would have done it. Carly would have said something to Sam in her last breath, and then our end credit scene, we get to see the pardon, we get to see all that happen. But instead, she walks out, and Sam and Bucky are waiting, confronting her, and she's like, "Well, you have no proof." Basically, and I just think that would have given it a little more oomph. It's just something.
I wonder what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the comic books, there's a character called Power Broker. It's not Sharon Carter.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody. It's some old white guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what he would do is he gives people powers, and then they create some mess for the Avengers to stop or whatever.
Yeah, she did talk about like we have a lot of access to some things coming. So
Yeah, and presumably she gave them access to the super soldier serum, all the flag smashers.
mm-hmm.
So I wonder what else she has access to that she can give.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot more now that she's been reinstated. Oh,
and that's the one pushback I have with both these Marvel shows. It's the smallest bit of push. Like on one hand, 98% of it, I'm like, this is really great television. This is great. They really bring in all the pieces and all this stuff. But then there's the other 2% where it's like, but these characters still have to go on to the next thing to lead to the next thing, lead to the next thing. Like WandaVision, I was like, she's not going to answer any of her crimes. What she did, she just flies away and continues to learn how to do magic stuff. This it wasn't as bad, but it's still like with the power broker and stuff like that. It just has to leave you hanging, and you have to wait for however long for it. The only gracious thing, one of the few gracious things from the coronavirus year is that they are backed up on all this stuff. So like it's just going to keep on coming at least for another year and a half. Loki comes out in June, and Black Widow comes out, I think, also in June. So it's all
and then
coming.
we have Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I think those are the only ones that we're getting
this year. Nope, Eternals also this year.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, yes. Whichever one. So, see, it almost, it's like you just pause for a year and then now you get 2 years worth in a year. I like it. Let me see. Anything else you want to say about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No, I think it was pretty great. I wish I got more from Bucky, but I mean, they did a really good setup of the show. So,
and also, it sucks that that's another thing with it. Do you think some people are speculating that Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman would have shown up in the show instead of where Io showed up, somewhere in the middle? I wonder that too. Like maybe Bucky will have had some scenes with Chadwick Boseman that maybe we'll have had to cut. That's just speculation, but that could make some sense because I do feel like towards the last half of the season, Bucky did sort of fall into the background, especially when Zemo was coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wonder about that. And
he was kind of in the background from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning, like they gave him like in the first episode, they gave us intro, and then basically from episode 2, he's the sidekick,
Mm-hmm.
which that's fine. It's just like with WandaVision and this, they sort of the whole point of the shows were like making the sidekicks now the main like people doing the junk, like especially with WandaVision with the Darcy and the Officer. I don't know. I don't remember. Those guys, the guy from Ant-Man and all that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, hopefully Bucky gets more in the future, just a little bit more. But yeah, I liked Falcon Winter Soldier. It was really good. I can't wait to see what they do. Loki, I think, is going to be a little bit more fun, just like time hopping, but maybe not. Each show has defied expectations so far.
I think Loki's going to solidify a Phase 5 Young Avengers. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I'm really surprised about all this Young Avengers little Easter eggs they've been playing up. First of all, with Wanda's kids, and then you got Torres, in Falcon Winter Soldier. He's supposed to be the next Falcon.
And then even wasn't there in the comic book world one of Falcon's nephews was a bad guy at one point?
Isaiah Bradley's that young kid. With him. He's going to be the Patriot, I think, is what he would be. He's also from and I think that might be like the leader, maybe like the Captain America of the Young Avengers. Maybe not. So yeah, I'm trepidatious about the Young Avengers. Technically in the state of where the Marvel Universe is, it could make sense. Because most of them are either dead or in space. So but also it's like, are they going to do Young Avengers? And also they did the White Vision from WandaVision, and that suggests like there's a West Coast Avengers. So I wonder if they're just going to do like all these different Avengers teams in different sorts of movies. Which I wouldn't hate it, but also another thing, if they are playing this the next Thanos, let's say, like a Galactus or maybe Magneto does like an ultimatum or whatever. This is going to be like all these new shows, all these new movies. That's just cannon fodder for death. Basically.
And then the inclusion of the X-Men.
Yeah. Oh. See, on one hand, it sucks that they didn't have the rights to all this stuff when they started out. But on the other hand, since they were forced to have to, slowly do all this stuff, now they could do this for probably until forever, probably forever. And I wouldn't hate it. Give it to me. I'll take all of it. Good stuff. All right. So I guess plug your stuff. Where are you at? Talk about all your stuff.
What do you mean?
Like your social medias, your your podcasts, all that jazz.
So you can follow me on Facebook, Taijee Bunch, Taijee, Bunch as in bunch of bananas. I'm on Instagram, Ty_Bunch, TYE. I do have a new podcast coming out. It's called I Talk Black. It basically deals with the taboos of the things that go untalked about in the Black community. Doesn't mean you have to be Black to listen, share, or even be a guest on it. I'm looking forward. We actually are recording our first episode tomorrow, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm also a playwright and director, an actor and singer. I try not to say all of that because it kind of makes me sound selfish. Not selfish.
No.
But
no. I'll tell you. Wait. I'll tell you something. Like, you guys thinking, say what you are to be what you be. You gotta do what you gotta do. Otherwise, because fake it till you make it. I'm not saying you're faking or anything, but you just say what, if you want to be it, you are it until, especially if you're doing stuff towards it,
You know what? And in that light, I am a playwright, director, actor, and singer. And I will be self-producing some of my works. There's an app called Clubhouse. I'm going to try to do 2 of them on there. And me and some family are going to try to film one of the plays as well, too. So.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Big projects this year.
Yeah, big projects. Me, myself, we got, the podcast. I all under the brand The Effing Nerd. I got it unified. And,
for it.
And you could be like, I like how I did it. I put all my social media as That Effing Nerd. So you go like, oh, you can reach me at That Effing Nerd on all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. That's my whole little thing. But yeah, all right. You satisfied?
Oh yeah, I had a great time.
Cool. I did too. Perhaps we'll have you back again. We, as in me, because I'm the only one who works on this thing. All right. I guess I'll see you later.
All righty. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.